No. Well,
What is up, everybody? What is up? We've got a comment from Amy from last time I was live, which is always a valid point that she's making. But welcome back. Welcome back to the garage. Thank you. Thank you guys for showing up and showing out. It's the second live of today. Two lives. It's 2 lives Tuesday. I don't know. We're going back. You got your marinated chicken cooking. Okay, Steffi, I may need to come over and have some of that. That's an inspo for tonight's dinner, maybe. I definitely love biatches, Dylan. Guys, I found a video that goes even further back in the Wayback Machine. This one is from 1973. So before I was born, and I thought, I haven't watched it again. When I'm reacting with you guys, this is all live, right? This is my genuine reaction to what's happening because, these are news reports. So I want to give you additional information if I have it, or I'm learning right along with you. So also, I want to say, I'm on the last episode now, but I'm in this middle of this documentary. I think it came out last year. I have to look, but it's called The Breath of Fire. And it's about the Kundalini yoga cult. They had a huge stronghold in Los Angeles under the banner of Rama. So for those of you in the LA area, you may remember the Rama Center there. No, Vernon, he was not. Vernon, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not the youngest Eagle Scout in the history of the United States. There's nothing in his biography that was true, Vernon. But yeah, this series is blowing my mind a lot. You stayed at the Kundalini cult's ashram? Oh, girl. No, not the Cunnilingus cult. See, I wanted to call it Cunnilingi also, Dylan. It's Kundalini. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta watch this Breath of Fire, Kiki. It is like my kids always ask me, like, why do you watch all these cult documentaries? The other one I just finished was the Mother God one. Holy shit, the lady who was like the mummified blue lady that they found in Colorado. Yeah, that one. Fascinating. Also, what's interesting is that all of these cults, it's like when someone gets the idea to subvert humanity's innate nature to question things and understand that. HBO Max is where I'm currently watching that documentary, The Breath of Fire. And I forget the name of the Mother God one. I'll find it later. I just finished it. That one you can watch on Hulu because it was like a TCM. They showed it on TCM, or you can watch it on HBO Max. It's also there. But yeah, this is it actually helps me to deconstruct the hold that Lafayette Ronald and Scientology have had on my mind for my whole life, right? So when I understand the nature of cults, it's like I see it in other people. It's less traumatic. I mean, there's a lot of traumatic shit. Okay. A lot of traumatic shit that happens in these things. And some of that is definitely triggering. But because I wasn't directly a part of those things, right? Then I can look at it a little more objectively because it's separate from me. Whereas when I'm looking directly at Scientology, that is a huge part of me, right? So, yeah. So, yeah, I would highly recommend. Maybe I'll do some breakdowns of it. Yeah, it's fantastic. It is fantastic. The parallels, especially in this cult, just from the time it was really born into what it became in the offshoots and things, so parallel to Scientology. Yeah. His birthday was right in his book. Yeah, probably. Probably. Okay, so what we're going to do is sorry, I had to blow my nose. It's like the allergies are so bad right now, guys. So we are going to dive into this video without further ado because it's 30 minutes and I'll probably, I am going to have to put breaks in, so the copyright gods will be with me, but here we go. Let's dive in. Groovy. So 70s.
5 years ago, an organization that calls itself Scientology was incorporated for the first time in Canada.
Okay, so this is a Canadian production. That's number one. Love it. Number two, listen to his words. I'll put on the closed captioning, which I don't have access to. It says, "No soup for you." So we're not going to put that on. That calls itself Scientology.
The letterhead refers to Scientology as a church. The founder has called it the world's largest mental health organization.
This guy is so upset about having to say any of these words out loud. Like, he does not believe one thing. I love him already.
The Minister of Health for the United Kingdom said in Parliament in 1968, and I quote, "The government are satisfied, having reviewed all the available evidence, that Scientology is socially harmful. It alienates members of..."
Guys, 1968. The UK Parliament found, this is breaking news, that it is socially harmful. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Families from each other and attributes squalid and disgraceful motives to all who oppose it.
Yeah. Yeah. Accurate.
Its authoritarian principles and practice are a potential menace to the personality and well-being of those so deluded as to become its followers.
Hello, no lies told.
Above all, its methods can be a serious danger to the health of those who submit to them.
Yes.
Close quotes. The state of Victoria in Australia has passed a law making it a criminal offense for anyone to demand or receive payment for the pseudo-medical practice of Scientology.
Wow. Now, I remember hearing like these rumors about how Scientology had been against the law in Australia. What's up, Lara? And they just never went further than that. They, like what I was told as a kid, it's like, oh yeah, Australia was like, it was against the law, but we fixed that, right? Not that you would be charged with crimes if you asked for payment to do Scientology or made payments. I mean, crazy.
In Canada, Scientology now claims more than 50,000 members.
This is 1973, guys. They're saying more than 50,000 people in Canada in 1973 were members. Keep the year straight.
The organization distributes press releases calling established means of treating mental health problems into disrepute.
Right? Don't go see a psychiatrist or psychologist. Oh, no.
One such release states that, quote, "mental health for the Canadian masses is being pushed by 40 Soviet butchers through the Canadian Mental Health Association."
Boy, Scientology getting spicy. Getting spicy.
Obviously, the activities of this organization in Canada raise serious questions involving the public interest.
Yeah.
Most importantly, should Scientology be permitted to deal with the subject of mental health without being held responsible to any public agency, without being subject to regulation of any kind? These are the questions you may want to ask your MP after you have seen this W5 investigation.
Yeah. Contact
The
your
largest Scientology
representative.
organization in Canada is located in Toronto, where it was registered as a non-profit corporation in 1967. Its purpose, according to its charter, is to propagate a religion.
Don't forget that is where Phil and Willie got in. Also, where you guys know who I'm talking about, the director dude. His name is Haggis. That's where Haggis got in. Yeah.
Religious faith known as Scientology. A sign in the window advertises a tract on mental health.
Look at this sign. Read Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health by L. Ron Hubbard, the most important book ever written on the subject of the human mind.
Members invite people in the street to come in for free personality analysis.
Yeah.
A W5 researcher who took the test was then asked to sign up for an initial course costing $25.
Of course.
Later courses can come in packages that cost up to $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
The course is often in...
Guys, $3,000 in 1973. What? I have to ask the Google God. I don't know. No, I want to keep that. How much money would $3,000 in 1973 be today? Let's see. It's equivalent to $21,720.61. You could buy a house in 1973 for 21 grand. $3,000 got you a whole ass car, guys. Brand new. That's a lot of money.
Include a process called auditing with a machine called an e-meter.
Ah.
A Scientology publication claims that such auditing may improve the subject's IQ. Scientology claims to help people achieve what is called a state of clear by erasing engrams, or troublesome elements left over from earlier periods in this life.
Now, this is a very old gradation and awareness chart. And if they pan over to the right, where those OT levels are, I don't know if we could see it in the earlier frame, but it gives you all of the end phenomena. It doesn't say any of that anymore. And also there's like OT 9 through 15 on there, which they don't exist.
Life and from past lives as well. One Canadian family invested almost $10,000 in Scientology courses. They experienced the full impact of the group's techniques and then requested refunds.
This is the 70s. Everyone is smoking constantly.
Of their $10,000, they got $3,000 back.
Everything that one reaches for in Scientology is always beyond you. And at each level that you're at, there is that fear factor that if I don't do this right, they won't let me have the next.
Correct. Correct. Whoa. That's not what I asked you to do.
I basically wanted to reconcile a situation within my family so that my wife and I would have common objectives. And as a result of that, entered and progressed along as far as I could.
I signed what is a contract. I signed a contract for 1 billion years. 1 billion years.
Look at this kid trying to say this out loud. Like as if someone would be like, oh yeah, sure, of course. You signed 1 billion years. Of course. That makes total sense.
Now, I worked on the average approximately 16 hours per day, 7 days a week, for $9.60 a week.
John McLean
$9.60 per week. That is, guys, if you multiply that times 4, how much is that? Oh, it's $50. It sounds even worse when you divide it by the weeks. Actually, you're supposed to get $50 per week. Right. This was early days of the Sea Org. So he wasn't quite getting that $50 a week.
became part of the Scientology Sea Organization, or Sea Org, and served aboard Hubbard's ship.
I believed in Scientology and in the truth that I saw. Therefore, I was willing to do it right up until I actually made my final decision to leave.
This 1 billion year contract would appear to be...
There's the original Sea Org contract there. Let's see if we can rewind it here just a little bit.
Leave.
Okay. So there's the Sea Organization. Okay. Contract of employment. This is what they would use. Okay. You have to put your name in there. Do hereby agree to enter into this employment agree to enter into employment with the Sea Organization, and being of sound mind, do fully realize and agree to abide by its purpose, which is to get ethics in on the planet and the universe, and fully and without reservation subscribe to the disciplines, mores, and conditions of this group, and pledge to abide by them. Therefore, I contract myself to the Sea Organization for the next 1 billion years. Boom. Boom.
This 1 billion year contract would appear to be, legally, an unconscionable document. The implication is that the signer will continue to serve the organization in future lives.
Yes. Correct.
Hubbard first came to public attention as a science fiction writer. Many of his policy directives and...
Okay, old Doc Methuselah is like him trying to tell the story of the Bible, right? Like as if, yeah. This is a wild one. They don't like to talk about this book in Scientology because it's wackadoodle cuckoo cuckoo.
Much of his philosophy seems to reflect that background. Hubbard himself claims to have ended his...
Fear and the Ultimate Adventure. This is another one. Fear is another novel they don't talk about. It's another one. Yeah, wild.
...association with the World Organization, and has said that he is simply loafing aboard this ship. A measure of the organization's...
He's loafing. He's loafing.
...organization's wealth is the fact that this converted cattle ship is just one of several Scientology yachts.
Did you guys catch that? It was a converted cattle ship, meaning it was transporting cattle across the Atlantic.
...on station in various parts of the world. Little film is available of Hubbard himself. In 1967, a British television interviewer asked him to explain Scientology in layman's terms.
I think that'd be a relatively...
See? Lafayette Ronald. Lafayette Ronald.
easy idea, because it's actually a subject which is designed for the layman. And if you couldn't explain it to the layman, you would have a very difficult time of it. The subject of name means skill.
Oh, here we go.
Which means knowing how to know in the fullest sense of the word.
Sure.
Ology, which is study of. So it is actually study of knowingness.
Study of knowingness. Sure.
That is what the word itself means. It increases one's knowingness.
It doesn't increase your ability to brush your teeth.
But if a man were totally aware of what was going on around him, he would find it relatively simple to handle any outnesses in that.
His lips always did that weird, creepy thing, man. Yeah, so gross. Like the world's grossest mouth.
The Scientology Sea Organization is, in Hubbard's words, a highly disciplined elite group and forms the vanguard of the Scientology movement. Its purpose is to lead the struggle Hubbard is waging to, quote, clear...
Oh, there's a kid. There's just a shirtless child moving things about. That's totally fine.
Quote, the planet Earth, before moving on to other planets. He issues policy directives, many of...
There's another child. There we go. Let's just get all the kids up here. Line them up.
...of which are couched in quasi-military...
Now, this is the early Sea Organization, guys, where they had these, like, it looks like, you know, like they're wearing a lanyard that's supposed to go on your shoulder and go across your chest on a jacket around their neck. And then tuck the thing into a pocket. Like, it looks like they're wearing tiny hangman's nooses, in my opinion.
...jargon. Great emphasis is placed on so-called ethics and discipline. The directives
There was a child.
specify many crimes against Scientology. Crimes are punished by such penalties as placing a dirty gray rag on the left arm. Hubbard is regarded by...
See, right there, 1973, they're talking about the RPF, baby. The Rehabilitation Project Force. You got to run around with a nasty rag on your arm to let everybody know you're nasty.
his followers as a prophet, the man who invented...
Look at this little girl. How old do you think she is? How old do you think that little girl is right there? 12? 10?
something called Dianetics, and later
That fucker is tall. I don't know who that lurch motherfucker is.
Scientology itself.
Another child? Look at this kid. He's got to be 10. Look at this kid. That was the one with the no shirt. He still couldn't, there's no shirt for him.
Hubbard has said Scientology is as important to mankind as the invention of the wheel and the arch. Devotion to
Scientology is as important to man as the invention of the wheel and the arch. Talk about having a huge button on self-importance.
the Scientology creed is costly. An individual can spend as much as $8,000 trying to reach the
Oh, we got to go back to that Join Ron's Team little ad that they just threw up there for, filler.
$1,000
Okay, the Sea Organization is the vanguard of Scientology. Many are already involved, working daily, long hours, pulling together, forwarding Ron's purposes. A cleared planet. Missions are sent to the four corners of the globe. Tomorrow, to the stars. Yeah, we all thought one day we were getting a spaceship, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. They talked about that a lot when I was a kid, that we were going to have a spaceship. We were literally flying. We were going to Target 2. We were getting on a spaceship and going. Yeah. And then they stopped talking about that like in the 2000s. They were like, no, there's no spaceship. You sound crazy.
trying to reach the
Go clear. A clear, by definition, is a Satan who can be at cause knowingly and will never, and at will over mental matter, energy, space, and time as regards to the first dynamic, survival for self. A state of existence that has never been attained before. The state of clear is attained to complete by completion of the clearing course at AOLA. Over 3,000 persons have the freedoms of clear. And over again, their joys and wins are recorded in success after success. The cornerstones of a new civilization have been laid. Ooh, naughty. With Ron's exact technology. Each and every one of you have the responsibility to go clear now.
improved state known to Scientologists as clear. These are just a few of the courses
Now, you could only go clear through the clearing course. You had to be a trained auditor. Okay? So it was a way to go like, uh-oh, hot dog. Guess what? We're not going clear on Dianetics anymore, even though the whole purpose of that book was clear. Now you have to do all this other stuff and also all this training because you can't understand and do the clearing course unless you're a trained auditor, because the clearing course you do by yourself. Yeah.
Scientology offers. Each course has a prerequisite, which also costs money. The
Money.
church doesn't talk about fees, but states that
Look at that, $875 for OT2 in 1973. Do you know how, $3,000 was $21,000. So 1,000, right? What's three? It's like $7,000.
payment for these courses is a donation to further the cause. W5 has been informed that the Toronto organization's gross income has fluctuated between a few $1,000s and $25,000 a week.
So, like I said, guys, you got to roll the dice. You don't know what you're going to get. 1 week you're going to get $1 million, and next week you're getting none.
No one is certain just how much of the money goes to Hubbard's headquarters. but at least 10% is sent abroad as a kind of tithe, and more is paid out for books and other materials. An advertisement for the e-meter. Scientologists call it a confessional aid.
A confessional aid, right there. Not a religious artifact at this time because the FDA hadn't ruled yet. So it's a confessional aid.
Machine measures galvanic skin resistance.
Look, I want to say that the Mark V was a pretty e-meter. That baby blue is doing something.
Now we're going to continue with the security check.
Similar instruments are components.
Look at those cans, guys. People would use soup cans back in the 70s.
In conventional lie detectors. The e-meter is vital to Scientology auditing.
That guy looks happy. Look at him. Look at him getting Scientology. Just loving it.
Have you ever been sexually unfaithful?
Nope.
No.
Every auditor
no. And he's like happy. Didn't want to have to talk about that.
is urged to buy one. The margin of profit on this particular machine, which Scientology sold to one auditor for $150,
$150. What's their margin of profit, sir?
would be about 300%.
300%. I have to ask Google. Guys, the math is not mathing for me. If something costs $150 and you're making a 300% profit from that $150, what is the original cost of the item before selling it? $37.50. $37.50. By the time I was, trying to sell e-meters to my students, they were $3,000. I'm sure that cost level was probably about the same.
The procedure shown here is called a security check. Hubbard
Look how downscale this is. It doesn't even have a clock on it. You had to put your watch on there to get a clock, and you had to use a folder to divide it because it didn't have it built in.
Announced the abolition of this questionnaire in 1968.
According to a policy put out by Ron Hubbard in 1968, it was abolished. It was mainly due to political pressures put on Scientology by the British government.
Let's go back because I talked over what policy they were talking about here.
Auditing.
Have you ever been sexually unfaithful? No.
Every auditor is urged to buy one. The margin of profit on this particular machine, which Scientology sold to one auditor for $150, would be about 300%. The procedure shown here is called a security check. Hubbard announced the abolition of this questionnaire in 1968.
According to...
So security checks, this particular security check that he's doing, I guess he's not saying which one he's doing, was abolished in 1968. I'd love to know what policy they're talking about because there's plenty of security checks. And it's because of political pressure. Brilliant.
A policy put out by Ron Hubbard in 1968, it was abolished. It was mainly due to political pressures put on Scientology by the British government. There was a lot of public outcry against these security checks in England.
Has it been used since 1968 in Canada, in this country?
Yes.
So just not in England, guys.
It just came back into use in 1972.
So from 1968 to 1972, they were not doing security checks because the British government was like, you can't fucking do that. And then in 1972, we're back. We're back, baby.
When, in Canada, an executive in Scientology and myself were the first two individuals to have the security check started on. And my mother and my wife and my father also had the security check.
So your whole fam bam, Everybody's, it's like Oprah, security check for you, security check for you, security check for you. Fabulous.
Could you give me some more of the questions?
Here comes the questions. Okay. I don't know if they're going to go over it, but I want to, what are we at? 9:13. Let's go back right there.
My wife and my father also had the security
Look how happy he is about his security check, guys. Just so elated.
check. Could you?
Okay. Have you ever been a member of any group with similar ideals as the Communist Party? Have you ever been a member of the Communist Party or any associated group? Do you know any communists personally? Have you ever injured Dianetics or Scientology? Have you committed any overts on Scientology organization? Wonderful. Just, do you feel communism has some good points? Just normal questions that every religion is asking its parishioners, guys. Normal stuff.
Could you give me some more of the questions?
Sure. Have you ever been a member of a communist party or any associated group?
No.
All right. Have you ever had any unkind thoughts about L. Ron Hubbard?
No.
For a Scientologist,
Now that question right there, that's the mamba jamba. If your needle doesn't float, doesn't do the happy dance and does the sad dance, then yeah. Yeah. You're in big trouble.
to have an unkind thought about L. Ron Hubbard would definitely be considered an outness, and the person having such a thought might be considered suppressive.
Have you ever had any unkind thoughts about L. Ron Hubbard?
No, not really.
All right.
See that
Your
red?
needle's floating?
Oh, is that what he
That's
called
it.
an
That's it. You
FN?
can
Please
put the
hold.
pins
Person having such a
I want to
thought
see
might be
this fake
considered
FN here. Please
suppressive.
hold.
out. Have you ever had any unkind thoughts about L. Ron Hubbard?
1,
No, not really.
2, big
All right.
sweep.
Your needle's floating?
Didn't
That's the end
even
of the
now.
session. That's it.
Back
You
in the
can put the pins
'90s, they oh shit.
Now, you've had the machine apart.
Barry Smith is a biomedical engineer who specializes in the design and
I can't get my thing to come back. Hang on. Oh. No, it wouldn't be a stream without a technical difficulty from me, guys. All right. Let's carry on.
And that's the end of the session. That's it. You can put the cans down.
Now, you've had the machine apart.
Barry Smith is a biomedical engineer who specializes in the design and manufacture of electronic equipment for use in the field of mental health. Mr. Smith dismantled the e-meter.
Just look at what's inside here, guys. Okay? Check out what's actually inside the e-meter.
And reported that it was of a type used to measure galvanic skin resistance. He explained that the meter portion was technically sound, but that the tin can electrodes were ineffective.
They're ineffective.
On the quality of the unit as a whole, he reported,
The system as a whole, which includes the electrodes, is not a good system.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not the greatest invention since sliced bread? What?
Because the electrodes are subject to this tendency to rely heavily on the pressure exerted on the tins.
Oh,
to the
right.
point where the pressure will swamp out the galvanic response of
The pressure, how you hold the cans, can change what's happening. Oh my God. It's like he debunked the whole e-meter, guys. Holy cannolis.
tissues in question.
this book was published by Hubbard in 1968. It describes
It's
some of
volume
the
1.
Scientology ethics which applied at that time.
Yep.
Certain people could be declared enemies or suppressive persons,
No.
SP for short. This order, issued October 18, 1967, said that an enemy could be declared fair game. Note the bottom line.
They could be declared what? I'm sorry? Did this person just read Fair Game in 1973?
Could be tricked, sued, lied to, or destroyed.
Donna, I have that Fifth Estate one in my list already. Deprived of any property or injured.
A year later, Hubbard sent out an amendment dated October 21, 1968.
Oh, so then a year later he canceled it. Well, let's see what happens.
The amendment said, the practice of declaring people fair game will cease.
Yeah.
Fair game will not appear on any Scientology order.
No.
It causes bad public relations.
Yeah, that's bad PR. But he didn't cancel declaring suppressive people. Didn't cancel the practice of fair game. Just that those two words in that order will not be listed on any future publications.
Then Hubbard adds, this new policy does not cancel any policy on the treatment or handling of a suppressive person.
Boom! Right there. He says it himself. I love that they're like reading it for you. Like, just zoom out. Let people read it.
This Scientology order, number 887, was issued in Toronto.
Yep.
It ordered Nan McLean's expulsion from Scientology.
Oh, Nan. Yep. I met Nan McLean in 2015, and she was a spitfire. Fucking love that lady, man. She is rad sauce.
The list of accusations covered 10 points, including seeking to splinter off an area of Scientology, hiding data that was vital to prevent upsets, omissions requiring heavy interventions by seniors consuming their time and money, refusing to report, protecting a staff member guilty of a Scientology crime, and snarling about justice. Nan McLean was a true believer. She joined Scientology in a search for personal identification. She persuaded her family to join with her, and together they invested almost $10,000. These are some of the awards and certificates she received. She started as a student.
Guys, look how ghetto AF these certificates are. That's somebody trying to write like super fancy to make it look fun.
Student, eventually became a staff member, and achieved the distinction of being called a Hubbard Dianetic Counselor. Her daughter, Susan, was the only member of the family who didn't buy Scientology.
Good job,
I found
Susie.
that people in my own family were doing things that were totally against their character. They were, and they'll dispute it in the sense that they don't like to think that their character was changed for the worse. They like to think that all of the change was for the better, but it wasn't.
Right there. Susie, you tell them. They like to think that all the changes were for the better, but they weren't. They weren't.
The McLeans are a middle-class family who live in the country north of Toronto. Eric, the father, is a former intelligence officer in the Royal Canadian Air Force.
Ooh.
The family is liked and respected in the community. Various members of the family tell how their experience affected them.
I enjoyed utilizing my power against others. When someone was going to have a committee of evidence due to some crime that they had committed, what I would do upon occasion would be to just take the book, Volume 1, in the Organizational Executive course of Scientology, and open it and just run down and write down on a committee of evidence the worst charges I could find.
This is a person who is a true believer who enjoyed using this power to cause harm to other people.
Just to basically catch the person in everything that was possible to catch him on, no matter how minute. And when I saw myself doing that, well, I had to stop it.
On at least 3 occasions, I was asked for lists of the names of teachers within my area, not only at my school, but also within the county. And the object of obtaining a list of names, presumably, was so that they could be flooded with literature and contacted by the organization.
Yeah, you gotta tell everybody. You gotta give all the names of everybody you know.
That's one of the things that I refuse to do.
I felt that anything that I would do to help Scientology was right, regardless of how much it harmed other people.
I felt that everything I would do in Scientology was right, regardless of how much it hurt other people. That is a true believer statement, y'all. Right there. I love the frankness of this interview. You know, like there is
And
no
from,
holds barred.
like the viewpoint of a public citizen and going against the laws of the land. But if it helps Scientology, then I felt at that time that it was the right thing to do, because I
Even if it went against the laws of the land, y'all.
was so terribly caught up in the survival of Scientology, and I was like actually a robot, a Scientologist robot.
Those who get hooked on the pseudoscientific mumbo-jumbo about thetans, engrams,
I'm sorry, the pseudoscientific mumbo jumbo. That is. Thank you, Canada. Thank you for this.
hats, wogs, raw meat, suppressives, and all the rest find it difficult to break loose.
This is very true.
The words and regulations of Ron Hubbard and his pervasive organization take a firm hold.
Just Bruce and the rest of the family were expelled from Scientology, and I wasn't at that point because I was on a leave to handle some babysitting problems and stuff. And what I would have had to do in order to remain in Scientology is disconnect from my husband.
Oh, but disconnection, that's not real. No one gets told that they have to not be married to somebody or not talk to their mom or not talk to their own children. Absolutely. Poppycock.
Disconnect.
Split up. You know, I go my way, he goes his, because we don't agree. And in order to remain in Scientology, I would have had to leave Bruce, or Bruce left me, or however it worked.
How do you know that?
Because that's the policy. If you're connected to a person who is antagonistic to Scientology or says, you know, nasty things about Scientology to you, then it becomes a condition where you are go to ethics and you're told you have to disconnect from that person.
My thoughts are that they're afraid to really admit that they got took. Completely took.
So now this is the one daughter who did not join. I fucking love her.
Every single one of them every one of them has made a point of stating the fact that there was good in Scientology. And to me, that's just a way of saying, well, I did get taken, but there was some good in it.
Yeah. Sister friend, I hear you. This is exactly the fight that the children born into this abomination, sacrificed to it, okay? This is exactly what our parents say to us and continue to say to us, which is so infuriating.
And making oneself feel, to an extent, that you weren't duped, but you were duped, Mother.
I was not duped, Susan.
Mother,
Look at her. She's going to fight her now on a television show. I love this. This is like first reality television right here.
you were.
Okay, I grant your beingness to think I was duped.
She just threw the whole Scientology at her right there. Did you see how her face changed? And she's going to tell her daughter, like, I grant you the beingness to think I was duped.
But I know I wasn't. I know I have benefited.
But Mother,
So here's the deal. I just want to give you guys a, if you guys don't know who Nan McLean is, she eventually became the staunchest and loudest Canadian speaking out against Scientology in Scientology's history. So, like I said, Spitfire. But you're seeing her while she's left physically, okay, Scientology. She's no longer physically in Scientology, but her mind still belongs to L. Ron. Still belongs to L. Ron.
Any benefit I have had outweighs any detriment I have had.
We're getting the fiery sermon here on the Mount.
But Mother, I saw you do things that were wrong, and when I told you that they were wrong, you justified it in the name of the organization, and I heard you say more than once that for the good of the org, you were going to do it.
Look at her daughter, like, who was in reality was like, Mom, you're doing things that are illegal, that are bad. And then her mom says, in the good of the organization, of course I'm going to do that. Greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics. That is stamped on you from the moment you start.
Okay, did I do it?
Yes, and you know it's true because you've actually
Yes,
broken down
I
at
know
times
it's
that
true.
admitted it.
I know
All right,
that's true.
Susan, I will admit publicly, in front of everyone that watches the program, that I got taken. Totally. Okay.
Her brother's like, okay, you're right.
I got taken. I've got no qualms about admitting that.
Okay.
I'm
John?
an idiot for getting taken.
John, did you get nothing good out of Scientology?
Mother.
No, it's not.
She's still trying to convince them.
Not that I didn't get anything good out of Scientology. It is the fact that I cannot definitely say that I wouldn't have gotten the same gains out of some other experience.
Oh, boom. Correct. Because Scientology is not the cause of any positiveness. Anything that you change for the better in your life is a decision that you made for yourself. It is not ever because of the magic hoopla, nonsense, cocky poop that Lafayette Ronald said to do.
Right. Because I am still the same person that I was.
Good. You are. I'm not. I know I'm better.
But Mother, you gained from every little bit of fanaticism that you ever had in your whole life.
I'm loving this conversation is healing.
You gained from all the books you used as your Bible before Scientology came along, you gained some little iota of truth.
All of her kids right now are like, look at her other son. This one is laughing. He's like, that's right. And then this son is like, yeah, you tell it, sis, tell it.
Just as you gained from Scientology when it came along, because you have to gain with the things that you have to reach for. You have this need to gain something and to have something held up as all right and all powerful.
I hold it there. Don't forget that. No one holds it there for me. Only I.
Then in saying that Scientology has ripped you, Mother, you've got to
I love how she just takes it down.
be able to admit to yourself, it really did rip you.
I'm sorry. I don't have to admit that it ripped me. I don't believe that it ripped me. I'm the only one in this whole room that doesn't believe it ripped me.
She's hanging on for dear life, guys. She did a lot of bad shit for Scientology. She has to believe that those bad acts that in any other employment in scenario she would have never done. Never. Okay? But because her, religious teacher, right? The fake religious teacher, Lafayette Ronald, her guru, told her to do these things for the good of him, for the good of the organization. Of course, it has to mean something. Otherwise, she's just a criminal.
And I really, really, really mean that.
I don't agree with you.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, fine, you don't have to. But I know.
I find the longer that people are in Scientology, the stronger their absorption of L. Ron Hubbard's thoughts, words, and considerations, and that retreat from these particular feelings is perhaps a very slow process, and this is why we have such a divergence of opinion amongst us. I can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Even the dad is like, I can't believe I did it.
Yeah, right. I got more out of confronting the fact that I got ripped than I ever did in all the sessions I ever had.
Boom! Abso-fucking-lutely, man.
I don't want to offend you, but Mother doesn't have any considerations on money. It doesn't mean anything to her. She'd spend it as soon as look at it. And
I'd go without it if I didn't have it.
All right, but in all honesty, to put up thousands of dollars for a service for which you have no proof it's ever going to do anything. You take the word of a group of people that worship a man, just like any other man, and to take those people's word for it and shell out that kind of money just slays me.
She's just so fucking grossed out. Dear John, per the attached... What the fuck? I can't read what this says. Please. Is this some sort of like communication?
I received my bill last week.
Oh, right. Now he owes $17,500. Here we go.
From the flagship Apollo, and I owe them $17,500.
This is a guy who was on the ship with Lafayette Ronald on the former cowboat, okay? Getting $9.60 a week for working 80 plus hours a week, sleep deprived, nutritionally deprived, mentally tortured, and now he's supposed to pay them money.
Bruce and Don owe them $9,300 total. So that's $26,000, something like that, that we three owe Scientology.
But the thing is,
that Scientology claims you owe them.
Well, yes, claims. We'll never have to pay it.
Look at them just laugh at the freeloader debt. They want to tell me I owe you money. I scoff at you.
We never will pay it.
All right, so long as that's established.
You asked me earlier if I felt guilty. Okay, to the degree that every one of my family feels that they personally have been ripped off, I feel guilty. 1, 2, 3, 4 times guilty.
But nobody's saying we blame you.
No,
I know you don't.
We're up against a situation where it's the lies that we kept encountering all the time that finally brought about the disaffection that grew and resulted in the eventual problems that we ran into.
Kids, I just want you to observe these parents are just chain smoking in front of their children, none of whom are smoking. This is what we grew up with in the 70s, guys. Just people, they couldn't talk without a cigarette in their hands, okay? Hardly ever had a conversation with my parents when I was young that did not involve them smoking.
Okay. I know that. I have that feeling too. And to that degree, I too feel ripped off, if you like. But I don't have that sense of freedom at being ripped off that everybody else seems to have. I have a sense of injustice.
Oh, I take it back. That kid and his wife are smoking. Okay.
Freedom about being ripped off.
No, you say you feel good when you say, I have been ripped off. Okay. I don't feel good when I say I have been ripped off because there is that sense of injustice and betrayal.
Are you sure you don't feel like a sucker?
No.
No, listen.
Because I was sincere and still am.
You still feel this idealistic sensation, this fanaticism about, quote, Scientology.
Because I still see truth.
Right there. She's not left it for real yet. It would, everybody has to go at their own pace, guys. Obviously, these kids all came to the same realization, like, fuck. I got fucked at the drive-thru. And she's still trying to order her hamburger.
Scientology does have a truth. It has the truth, as I see it. It's there, and I want it.
There's a lot of truth in the Bible. Everywhere in life.
Listen, John's absolutely right. The
If you
Bible.
look around the corner, you can find a speck of truth here and a speck of truth there.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Now Scientology's cheated me. Okay, I got ripped.
Do you ever think that you might be quite mad?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Oh, yes.
The one man in the world who never believes he's mad is a madman.
Yep. We all know that quote.
With me in
The one man in the world who doesn't believe he's a madman is the madman. Bop, bop, bop.
the studio is Brian Levman, the president and assistant guardian of the Church of Scientology.
Oh, guys, I'm so excited right now. They have the assistant guardian on. Okay. So in the 70s, the guardian, of course, was like, here's L. Ron Hubbard. Okay. Here's the guardian. So this guy is the deputy guardian for Canada. Oh, this is very exciting. Let's see.
In Canada. Mr. Levman, before we begin, I'd like to reiterate the terms of your appearance here. It is not a statement of reply. It's an interview. We don't have equal...
He's so mad. Look at him. He's leaning away. Let's all look at the body language here, because he's going to reveal everything with his body language. Look at him.
...time as yet in Canada, and I think in the context of the film we've just seen, maybe that's a pretty good thing. So I'd like to start by asking you about your organization's
Look at him looking away from this guy. He doesn't even want to look at him.
interest in mental health. I gather that this is a matter of great concern to the Church of Scientology. Is that true?
Well, before we start, do you mind telling me how many people are watching the show?
Haven't the faintest idea.
How many people are watching? How many viewers do you have on this tiny little news station that you're doing here in Toronto? How many? 5, 10? Oh, hundreds of thousands. Okay. That's bad.
I see. Well, I must congratulate you. You've done an excellent professional, as CTV is known for, smear job on the church.
Oh, no, not SCTV. God, I love SCTV. That's a whole other thing. So right there, attack, attack, attack. Here we go.
There's been a lot of libelous statements made tonight. And I presume you're basing...
settled in court.
Libelous statements. Libel is settled in court. Good job.
It's not a matter.
I presume, well, I'm sure that that will be mentioned as well, despite the fact that you may have got the people who appeared on the show to sign releases releasing you from legal liabilities. If you think that CTV is indeed released, I'm sure you're very misguided.
I'd like to pursue your church's interest in mental health.
First of all,
I understand you did a big report in mental health. Has that report been endorsed by any legitimate organization?
Well, Mr. Gould, I don't think we're here to discuss Scientology, because nothing I've heard
I'm here
in the
to
first
ask you
20 minutes of
questions.
He's asked it twice now. He will not. This is, oh God. Just watch this guy try to dance circles around this Canadian broadcaster. And I love you, sir. If you're still alive, I love you.
About Scientology.
Had anything to do with Scientology. I'd like to make an answer to the spokesman, the McLeans, that spoke at the first part of the show. I'm not here to continue a mudslinging campaign that has already been started against the church.
Mr. Levman. We're trying to seek the
but
truth.
I would like to say...
Your church, I must say, has probably been the most uncooperative organization that we've ever tried to report on.
Look at him. He does not know what to do with this guy. He's going to try again. Here we go.
To continue, I'm getting very much less than a quarter of the show to appear on the church on behalf of the Church of Scientology. To continue, I'd like to say that...
Mr. Levman, you're here...
Attack, attack, attack.
For an interview, not for a statement. Those were the terms
I think
under
we
which you made
first
an
of all
appearance.
should take a look at the credibility or lack of such of the people you've had come on and testify against us. Now you tell me, Mr. Gould, if an alcoholic comes on a show and tells you that you're an alcoholic or some such other thing, or if a drug addict tells you that you're a drug addict.
Here we go.
I repeat to you, Mr. Levin.
Here we go. It's the murder routine.
Well, we asked your organization for a number of interviews and we refused them. Now, I'd like to pursue some questions, and if you refuse to answer the questions, then we can forget it.
I love him.
I'd like to ask you, for example, about handling illness in Scientology.
Yeah.
From the Hubbard Communications Office, St. Hill Manor, East Grimstead, Sussex, HCO, Bulletin, 16 August, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Don't mistake that Dianetics can all by itself practically bring the dead to life to
Practically bring the dead to life.
all intents and purposes, and it can be used all by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a true statement of the
If I may just
research?
go back to something you said earlier.
Not gonna deny or affirm that. Just gonna redirect.
About the church, you asking for the church several times to get interviews.
Mm.
And may I point out that that was conducted in a very unethical way by CTV. You sent undercover people into the church to harass
Mr.
us.
Ledman, would you care to answer the question?
Yes, I would. I'd
Would
love
you
to
answer,
answer
would
your
you
question.
answer that question?
You're asking me, is it true that Christ raised the dead? Is that it?
No.
Oh, let's attack the Bible now.
Well, maybe Christ did. You're
seems to me
saying that Dianetics has.
I'm saying
Can.
that Dianetics, as a science of the mind or the spirit, by alleviating spiritually caused ills, can handle a person's suffering if indeed they're spiritually caused. That is all.
It can handle their suffering if it's spiritually caused. Okay.
All that so-called bulletin says.
That's all it says. It just says it handles you spiritually. Hang on, he's going to come back.
Handling illness in Scientology.
You're taking something out of context. I think
Well,
what we're
I'll
dealing
read
with,
the whole thing if
we have
that's
a really problem
necessary.
in communicating.
I'll read the whole thing if that's necessary.
Why don't we get down to
Because
the real
when
issue?
Dianetics can't, if it doesn't work, it says it can do it. When that doesn't work completely, then the Class 8 case supervisor and well-trained Scientology auditors can step in.
Why don't we get down to the real issue? That is that the church has a campaign going to decry abuses in the field of mental health.
Here we go. It's because we're speaking the truth about psychiatry. And you guys don't like that.
Abuses like psychosurgery, involuntary sterilization that is going on now in Ontario, electric shock therapy, and matters like this. And some people don't like that for some reason or another. And as a result, the church has been attacked back. For example, I know that Mr. Katz of the Toronto Star tried to write an article, a bad article on us, but was not able to. He was a
I wonder what happened.
friend of Mr. Reed's, so presumably he put him on to Mr. Reed, who's an associate producer of this show. And now you're trying to do this type of smear campaign on us. Now, what can I do? Deny the allegations you've made? 9 million Scientologists can deny the allegations you made, but I know
9 million in 1973.
notice you don't have even one on the show.
Are there 9
The
million?
purpose of this is to make
Are there 9 million?
yes, there are. The purpose of this is to make the church look
No. No.
bad. Why make it a joke?
If there are
CTV
9
is being
million-
unethical,
if there are
unfair,
9
and
million-
making a smear on a religion.
If there are 9 million,
Why
a religion,
pretend
are you a
to make it
religion?
accurate?
Are you a religion?
The church has never been called anything else but a religion.
You
You bring
worship?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
up, for example...
worship?
Of course. You bring up, for example, the Victoria.
To whom do you
The
pray?
Victoria Inquiry at the beginning of your show.
To whom do you
But
pray?
you failed to mention
Who are you worshiping?
that the Attorney General of Australia, Senator Lionel Murphy, has officially exonerated Scientology from any charges and has officially recognized this as a religion.
You know, Mr.
You bring up
Ledman,
England, where the church was supposedly restricted from entering, but you refuse to mention, deliberately refuse to mention that in 1971 a report was issued by the church, by the church as well as by the Home Office,
Mr. Ledman, it's very
stating that
it's
all the
very
charges
easy
you
to
made against us were unconstitutional
very
and
easy to
exonerating
state
the
a great
church.
number of things. In fact, one of your people stated to one of our researchers that a so-called report of yours in mental health institutions in Canada had been endorsed by the Manitoba government.
No, we stated that
I
they
assume
bought,
that was a
they
true
bought
statement.
100 copies of such.
True statement
So they bought 100 copies, means they endorsed it.
to our researcher. We have a letter here from the Minister of Health and Social Development in Winnipeg, who denies that completely. My department has not endorsed the report, signed by Rennie Toupin, the minister.
My dear sir, what was stated was that the government of Manitoba purchased 100 copies of our report. If you want to see the invoice, you're quite entitled to see their order
Yes,
invoice.
he says they
and that's all that was stated to your researchers.
He says they did purchase it. The action did not and does not imply support of endorsement, goes on to explain.
What are you, an a-religionist?
He doesn't remember the word for atheist.
On the contrary.
Do you feel obligated to attack
on the contrary,
religion?
I just wonder
to make
about
a farce
an
out of things?
organization.
See, look, attack, attack, attack.
I wonder about an organization that
but you don't know a thing about
encourages
it.
people
You
to
haven't
go
shown any
thousands
knowledge
of
about
dollars into debt in the pursuit of 2 soup cans tied to the end of a meter.
I see. Who encourages people? I'm afraid the people themselves, if they wish to donate money to the church, are quite entitled to it. If you don't like it, that's your business. But
Brian Levman,
but take a look at the field of psychiatry, where people
the
spend a lot
president,
more.
assistant guardian, says he has a number of other titles for the Church of Scientology in Canada.
Brilliant. Bravo. Bravo, Canada. Thank you. Wow. 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 That's a huge wow. I mean, guys. Fuck yeah. That was a religiousness. I've never heard of that. I think he was trying to say like atheist, or maybe a religiousness was a term in the 70s. I don't know. Oh my God. That was brilliant. That was, love it. Love it. Okay, well, let me get to your comments and questions here, guys, because, oh, that show's still running today, Donna. I love it. Love it. The ashram had its own field of emus. Of course it did. Of course it did. The greatest con from Lafayette Ronald is that all suppressive people references he wrote were basically him. Yes! He fit all 12 characteristics. He was a great hypnotizer. Sometimes I put RJ67 on to help me. Don't do that, Steffi. That's going into your subconscious. Don't do that. That's still, well, it's still too much money. It's the cognitive dissonance that got us. It's 23% bullshit, but 77% good, and it fills our need. I would say reverse those two numbers. Reverse these. There's less good than there is bullshit. My parents brought me to Nan McLean. True story. She's a fucking Spitfire, right? She's a Spitfire, man. Just named the book Meshuggah Maniacs. I love it. I love it. The Fifth Estate. Yes, I have that one. We're going to be doing that in the next few days here for sure. It seems that Canadian journalists and law enforcement knew the truth about Scientology. Investigative programs like CTV's W5 and the CBC's Fifth Estate got the truth about Scientology. Absolutemo. Yeah. Wrath of Xenu again. Scientology was convicted in Ontario, Canada on 2 counts of breach of trust in '92. Wow. Due to their conviction, Scientology will never be considered a religion in Canada. Apparently, David Miscavige was at that trial. Fun. Yeah, this is true, Amy. If you're being smoked around, you're smoking too. Yes. Tom Gould isn't putting up with any of his BS. That's correct. We need to have a chat soon via the internet to meet up for 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah. If 2 former members of Scientology are like, I just need 5 minutes, that's going to be at least 2.5 hours, at least. Let me get to your questions here. All right. Sounds like an ACT math question. A mustachio question. Oh, when interrogated, if you have to go earlier, similar, how does anyone know what they did in past lifetime that they weren't a suppressive person? Oh no, you talk about that. Everybody was a suppressive person at one point. We've all blown up a planet. We've all destroyed a civilization. We've all been evil psychiatrists. The whole thing, all of it. Yeah. No, it always ends up in something awful. Awful. Absolutely horrific. Yeah. No, absolutely. Okay, guys, in case you forgot, this book is coming out. Get it. Get the book. 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 Okay. It's coming out in 14 days. 14 days. If you can be in Portland, come to Portland, 7 p.m. Tuesday, July 29th. Get your autograph copy. I'm going to get some autograph copies from the author himself, Mr. Jamie Mustard. We're going to have him on the show in a bit, probably closer to the release. We'll have him on. Talk about the book. Yes. But yeah, get this book, guys. This is a life changer. And I will say this, I was talking to Jamie the other day about this, but even if you have never been in a cult, okay, of any kind, you will see yourself reflected in this book, because the parallels that run through, some of the unfortunate parallels that run through Jamie's very harsh, very extremely traumatic upbringing ring true for all of us that are Gen Xers, Xennials, older millennials. This is our life. And I think it's going to bring a lot of healing to a lot of people. I also think that it's going to shake up the world of Scientology in a very positive way for the people who have gotten out. So definitely. Oh, Chicago Jane, thank you for that. Yeah, definitely get the book, guys. It's going to be a mate. It's going to be amazing. Yes. I don't know, Donna, I don't know if I'm doing the Fifth Estate thing tomorrow or if it's going to be later in the week. I have to look at like the order of things, but I might do it tomorrow, Donna. We might just dive into that tomorrow. I should watch Bossy McBoss bossing around his person holding the umbrella. Oh, I already saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I did notice that after my stream earlier, he was awfully nice to those Scientologists. Did you guys notice that? Yeah. I thought, good job. That's how you should talk to human beings that you're actually trying to help. I don't have a critique there. I honestly hope he didn't get heat stroke. That's awful. Heat stroke can kill people. I don't want anybody to have that. That's awful. Don't go out when it's 95 degrees in Florida with fucking no wind and all the humidity. That just seems dumb. It is like in Beaverton today here, guys, because you guys know where I am. It's on my post office box. The weather here is 88 right now. So it actually cooled off a lot, but I'm still in the garage. So I got to get out of here because the way the weather works in Oregon is so weird. Our peak heat starts between 4:30 and 5:30. So it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter now. And it's going to be like, it's at the peak basically right now. And it's going to like stay this hot for a number of hours. So it's getting toasty in here. You can see my face is starting to get a little red. Okay. But I've got a fan on down here. So I'm going to be done in here for today. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. Thank you to my mods, Rox, Jojo, Stacy, and Gen X Biatch. Thank you guys for being here. Please click that like me, subscribe, and become a member. Guys, I'm going to post the Zoom call for all members, calling all members. Later during this week so we can get that sorted out. That's going to be happening in August. All right. And otherwise, guys, I'm going to see you all, you know where, on the flippity dippity. Thank you, as always, to my mods for keeping this stream right and tight. Thank you for all of you viewing and the truth that we're constantly trying to bring out here on this channel. Please go see my other videos. Click that link for my link tree, and I'll see you next time on the Flippity Dip.